What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Tadella Talks. Today, we are going to be talking about X Men. We got some new castings, officials, rumors, whole bunch of things, and we're going to be talking about all of it. Just straight X Men and mutants today, okay? And just a little bit of Spider-Man, because it's a brand new day, bro. You got to throw them in there, man. What are we talking about? Throw me on in the background, do your dishes, fold your clothes, do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Listen to me, let's discuss. And also, quick little note. We made it to 118 subs as of last time I checked. Thank you guys so much. You guys are keep it up. Let's double that rate exponentially, bro. Like we got so much potential here. We're cooking up. We're cooking up. And it's all thanks to you, of course. So thank you so much. And yeah, let's do it. Double clap. Let's yap. Yes. So it is confirmed that Kit Connor, star of Warfare and Heartstoppers, which one of those I have seen, one of those I haven't, is going to be our official Scott Summers Cyclops. I gotta say, I'm very happy with this choice. Now, granted, I will say, I will say, I'm not too familiar with his work. I will say that, but as I said, I did see Warfare, and full disclosure, I don't really remember him in it because, it was like a very ensemble-based kind of thing. It wasn't like one actor got to shine the most kind of thing. It was really like a joint effort, but he didn't stand out, I guess. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Whatever, but that's not the point. So yeah, but everyone who's seen Heartstoppers has said he's a good actor. So I'll just trust that. And you know what? I trust the casting department. I don't remember Sarah Haley Finn. Yeah, Marvel's OG and main casting department. They always cook up. You know what I'm saying? So, dude, I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped. But yeah, all right. So now we got Samara Weaving, the babysitter herself, Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh, why am I forgetting her name? Emma Frost. So yeah, we got Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. Now that is apparently really good casting. I'm not too familiar with the character of Emma Frost, I will say, but I do know that there's a little love triangle potential here, and I'm not mad about that. Even in that case, oh my god, everyone's been saying this, but Scott, you greedy ass motherfucker. If they do the cheating storyline in the movies, I'd be very down to see that because I love beef. I love the drama, bro. And speaking of beef, we'll get into that later. But yeah, so we got another banger casting, bro. And she's bad as fuck. Oh, you get Samara Weaving and you get Jean Grey. Why am I blanking on her name? Sadie Sink. You greedy motherfucker. And you're younger than both of them. You're 22. That's too close to my age, bro. Wow. I could really be in a Marvel. Damn. All right, yo, that's just wishful thinking. Okay, and then, of course, we obviously have spoilers for Brand New Day if you don't know. Oh, damn, I already mentioned it, but still. Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. And I thought she did a really good job in Brand New Day. I will say, I'm interested how they take her character from, her villainous turn in Spider-Man. Obviously they're not going to make her a villain in the new X Men movies, but still. And it wasn't really like a villain. She just did some fucked up shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Peter was right. That shit that she did on the rooftop, unforgivable. I can't lie. But you know what? We've forgiven Loki. He's done worse. Even felt sympathy for Thanos in the end of Infinity War in the spirit realm. Even though he wiped out half the universe. So, you can, if you write good, you can make us care about him. So yeah, Jean Grey, she's great. So we got 3 of the X-Men confirmed. Now let's talk about these very close rumors that are feel like they're just going to be confirmed any day now. So for starters, we have Charles Melton as Beast, Hank McCoy. That is interesting. That is so interesting. Because obviously he was in Riverdale. I didn't watch too much of that show, but what I did watch was Beef, which is why I said that earlier. So Beef season 2, he was great in Beef season 2. I gotta say, he was really good. Great at playing like the it's kind of hard to put. It's kind of hard to put into terms. Like a very needy guy, which I don't think Hank is. I'm just saying he's able to do like these multifaceted. He's able to do these different characters. And he was also in Warfare with Kit Connor. And you know who else was in Warfare? Joseph Quinn, who is also in the MCU as Johnny Storm. So not gonna lie, we might need a little trio team up with them three. I can't hold you. So yeah. Now, yeah, I mean, I think he could be a cool beast, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know what they're going to do with his character, so I don't know, but it could be cool. It could be cool. Now, Kaylee Spaney as Rogue. Oh, my gosh. Oh, another Star of Beef and Alien Romulus, which I haven't seen. But still, Kaylee Spaney, ooh. They just going with some fine-ass actors, bro. I'm telling you, bro, man. Shit! Oh, man. But, yeah, I think she could be a cool Rogue. I really do. I think they should do the Southern accent, though. That'll be interesting. Now, sure, I am from the South, but I do not have an accent, so I don't want them to drag it and be, like, over the top, but maybe that's the point. Yeah. But, yeah, she looks the part, too, like, just off-rip. She could also do, like, Kitty Pryde, too, but I'd rather have Rogue. Now, Patrick Wilson as Professor X, Professor Charles Xavier. You know, I've heard so many people say this is like kind of perfect casting. I don't know. I don't see it. Personally, I don't see it. However, and I think he could do a good job. I think he's a solid actor, okay? But I'm not too, like, I've really only seen him in Aquaman, and I know I've seen him in something else. I'm just blanking. And I do plan on watching Cape Fear, by the way. So, you know, all you Apple TV fans, you can hop off. But I will say, he's a much better casting than Bill Skarsgård as Professor X. That's just, I don't want to say it's bad because Bill Skarsgård is really talented, but that's Professor X, bro. Nah, man. Nah. And then Adam Driver as either Magneto or Mr. Sinister. Interesting. Because I've seen like sadly the AI replications of what Adam Driver could look like as Mysterio. He's got the hair, you just dye it white, he could do really cool. But I heard Zaffy, a YouTuber I watch, Zaffy, he was saying, like, I don't know how they're gonna do it in terms of the timeline because Magneto's origin is so tied to the Holocaust. So they could either, like in this video, he said they could either do some weird thing where like they slow his aging because of his mutation, or they set it, you know, in the past. But I don't think they're gonna do that. I think the whole point of this new MCU is that they're pushing forward to the future, you know, and that doesn't necessarily have to apply to the timeline. But I don't think they want to go back to an era where nobody had phones. I think it's very important that, like, I think it was represented best in Spider-Man Brand New Day. It was a very modern, up-to-date 2026 Gen Z, early 20s, you know, like recent grad student perspective, and I really liked it. And they did a great job, especially with like the soundtrack too, which, you know, I got that Tame Impala song in my playlist now. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. And then what else we got? Wagner Moura says he wants to play Mr. Sinister. I'm not too familiar with Mr. Sinister, but Wagner Moura was kind of nominated for an Oscar, and I have seen him in some things like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I thought he was good in that. And then also Civil War, who Kaylee Spaney was also in. So yeah, dude, it's all connected, bro. It's all connected. And then Jamie Lawson as Storm. I don't hate that. They just keeping it up with these fine ass actors. Okay, this is what I'm curious about, because Samara Weaving is in her 30s, right? And then we got, you know, Jean and Scott, who the actors, they're in their 20s, like early 20s, you know, 22 and 24, I think. So what I think they're gonna do is have Emma Frost be like a professor or a teacher at the school, because I don't want like the origins of the school, really. I kind of just want the school to be established, you know? I kind of just want it to already be a thing. I don't want it to like really get into it. It seems like a bit much. Now, Jamie Lawson, oh my God, she's only 28? Yeah, we chilling, bro. Yeah, she can be our Storm. Oh. And she is also rumored to be in Black Panther 3, which would be an interesting way to introduce Storm, I think. That could be cool. Imagine they make her the villain of BP3, just like Jean Grey, and then they're like, oh wait, nah, no, by BP3 the X Men movie would already be out. That's my theory. They're definitely they're casting now, bro. They're filming X Men next year. X Men is coming out in May. I'm telling you, in 2028, May 28 is coming out. Now, last one is Indy Navarrete says she wants to be Mystique. she's a great actress. Okay, Obsession was fantastic. She was really good in it. So I'm not saying she can't pull it off. More for me, it's just like I kind of want them to let Mystique rest for a little bit. You know, like hold off on her first, because we've just gotten we've gotten a lot of Mystique. You know what I'm saying? Like we've gotten a lot of Mystique, in my opinion. So I think we can just let her rest for a second. Just put a pause on her for a bit. Here is the team that I want for the X Men. Kind of basic, little rehashed, yes, but tiny bit of switch ups, just little tweaks. So I'm really going for that OG team vibe. So, you know, I'm going for the basic bitch team, bro. I want Jean, Scott, Storm, Beast, Iceman, and Angel. I love Iceman so much. Bobby's my guy. Bobby's my guy, bro. Iceman is so tough. And Rogue. I want Rogue too. Now, I know that's... How many people is that? That's like what? That's 7 people. That's not crazy. That is not a crazy lineup. I think that's a solid lineup. And, you know, we have all our fan castings, so you can kind of just throw whoever you want in there. And then we have our official castings. And once again, oh my God. And then we have Emma Frost. But I don't think she's going to be like on the team. Once again, I think she's going to be a professor. And now, here's some of the potential characters that I would like to see in the world. Maybe not in the first movie, but they got to diversify it up, bro. I'm not going to lie. So, Jubilee needs justice, because Lana Condor, she played Jubilee in Apocalypse. And they just didn't do anything. She was just there. Didn't do a single thing with her character. Bishop, I would like to see a different adaptation of Bishop. He was in Days of Future Past, yes. But once again, we got to diversify it up, bro. Mystique, I do want to see Mystique, and I'll, you know, throw in Nightcrawler there too, because, you know, obvious connection. I think they can do those characters. I just want them to hold off. Same with Wolverine. I'll get into him in a second. And I think I want to see Sunspot. He would be cool. I know we've seen him in the New Mutants movie, it was a movie. And then, if I'm not mistaken, he was in Days of Future Past. But yeah, I'd like to see Sunspot. Fuck Pyro. We already saw him in Deadpool and Wolverine. Get Pyro out of here. I don't want to see him. Not yet. Gambit, okay. So Gambit is kind of a weird one. So I would be fine if they introduced him in the first one. That'd actually be really cool. But do it completely different from Channing Tatum. Like go way more, just completely different take on the character. Because don't get me wrong, I like his take on the character. It's cool. And it's really cool that he's finally, you know, getting to play it after his movie being in development hell and then, you know, getting canceled. So I think that's cool. But I think hold off on Gambit just a little bit, especially because we're getting him in Doomsday and we had him in Deadpool and Wolverine. So yeah, Colossus. Oh my God, I love Colossus in the Deadpool movies. He's so fun. So I think Colossus can be cool. I just, once again, hold off on him just a little bit. These are like characters I'd want to see introduced in like a second or a third movie, or maybe a different movie, and then brought into a second or third X-Men movie. And then, yeah, so Nightcrawler too. Now, Wolverine. Dude, let him rest just for a bit, man. Seriously. Like, especially if we get him back in Doomsday with Tobey Maguire and the opening and the destruction of that world. Like, just let Wolverine rest. We're getting a Wolverine game next month, which I pre-ordered, by the way. So yeah, I think we just got a bit of Wolverine oversaturation, in my opinion. Let Logan take a backseat. Let Cyclops, let Scott be that guy. Get him at least one movie where he is him. You establish him and don't make him the cuck that he was in the original trilogy. Fuck. James Marsden, I'm sorry they did that to you. I don't know what producer or director you pissed off, but whoa, they did not like you, bro. Oh my gosh, it was either you or the character, one of those two. You was getting hoed by Toad? You're fucking Scott Summers, bro. Lock in. You was getting bitched by Toad? I just rewatched the first X-Men from 2000, so that it's a little fresh in my mind. Now, what do I think they should do? Just go the basic story. You know what I'm saying? Have them had that storied past in the wars and stuff like that with Sabretooth. I really like that part of Wolverine Origins, I think. And, you know, but like, you can give him a solo project. I've seen so many people say give him a TV show on Disney Plus. The whole point is to stray away from Disney Plus. Don't get me wrong, that would do numbers. I'm sure it would. But and it could be cool. But no, I don't even think you should give him his own movie. Just have him as a character like Deadpool, where he really works well in an ensemble kind of thing. He can carry his own thing, yes. But I think we should just chill on Wolverine for a little bit. Now, I do have one idea of a fan casting that I just saw Jack O'Connell, I really mess with that. I know he could play like the feral kind of get down and dirty. You know what I'm saying? If you've seen 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, he can go a little crazy. My only thing is like he is very obviously Irish. He is very obviously a European man, definitely not Canadian. I'll say that, but I think he could pull it off. Maybe, and he's only 36, I think, so he could definitely do that. But he like I would be really interested to see a short, like a comic accurate short 5'3" Wolverine. That would be interesting. Even then, just keep him below 6 foot, I'd say. You know what I'm saying? A short keen's got to be represented. And then one fan casting I saw on this article was this is just a troll. Walton Goggins, bro. What? What? For one thing, he's pushing 60. Second, you got a couple more seasons of Fallout to do, brother. Okay, you're tied to that. I don't want to see you in nothing else. And also, Walton Goggins, no disrespect, he's the only one who can pull off that hairline, but I don't want my boy Logan to be looking like that. And I know wigs exist, but he just does not give off Wolverine vibes at all. That was horrible. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the X-Men at this point. I do plan to educate myself a bit more on X-Men lore. I will say that I'm not super familiar. I do want to find out a bit more about Mr. Sinister, and a bit better, for Scott Summers and stuff like that. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah.